I was like, yo, do that again. It's crazy. It's that simple, but I did not realise that right there is probably the number one thing that I love about magic. Okay. We are back. We are live and direct. AJ Tracy live and direct. Yeah, man. Here we are. It's another podcast Sunday or Saturday, even though it's a Monday I'm recording this. How are we all doing? Welcome back to the Ricky2ra podcast, episode 67. Your boy's nearly hitting that 70, man. Your boy's nearly hitting that 70. Thank you guys for tuning in for this week's episode. But first and foremost, how are you all doing? Are you doing well? Are you keeping safe? Have you had any exciting things happening lately? Whether that's in your life or you know somebody that's done something and you're like, oh my God, I want to do that. Or you've done something yourself and you're like, oh my God, you've got to hear this, what I did. Yeah. Let me know if you've done anything interesting recently. I'm just curious, I care about you guys, whoever's listening or watching, so yes, you right there. I am interested as well. I'm good. I'm doing very well. I am doing very well. I feel good. Man got the fresh cut today. Shout out to Abu, you know what I mean? Abu, if you ever watch this. Yeah, man's feeling good. It's one of them ones. You feel good after you had a fresh trim. Come on, lads. You've got to agree with me here, or for the girls as well. Let me know. I don't really know any girls that go, yo, just had fresh trim, feel nice. But yeah, whatever floats your boat. Yeah, I am feeling terrific today. Ricky2ra is on the ball. Boys rocking that Sean John again. Do you know what I mean? The Sean John hoodie. But as you can tell, before I say that, let me make sure my phone's on silent. Okay, we're good. As you can tell by the title, we are going to be talking about why I love magic. Because the past couple of weeks, I've been talking about why I hate magic. And it was a bit controversial for myself. I don't know what you thought of it. If you did listen to them 2 episodes, let me know. If you haven't, what in the world are you doing here? You do not deserve to be listening and watching this right now. So make sure you get back onto them 2 episodes first and come back to this one. Because I've got so much love for magic, and I don't want people thinking that, your boys made 2 episodes of why I hate magic and your boys just absolutely just going ham on magic. When that is not the case, because your boy is doing a 2-parter. Yes, the 2-parters are real. I did it with how I create magic. If you've not even listened or watched that, what are you doing, mate? Why are you still here? Don't legit stop listening right now. Stop watching right now and go to them episodes, because I absolutely love doing both of them. The creating magic and the why I hate magic. Honestly, it's probably one of my best pieces of work on the podcast to this day. This episode is going to be easy because it's why I love magic. You guys know that I'm a magician. If you don't, come on, get with the schedule, man. Check out my channel, check out my socials, and I'll let you know what I'm about. So yeah, this is going to be a very, very easy episode for me. I felt like I needed to do this because, like I said before, I went ham on the why I hate magic, and I don't want people to think that I just hate magic, but because I do love magic, I love it. The love of it outperforms, outweighs, outmaneuvers the hate of magic. And I'm not really a negative person, so I don't really like the word hate. That's why I pronounce it right weird, because I don't even say it that often. I hate it. I kind of say it like in a brummy, I hate it. No? Okay, let's just forget I said that. Yeah, so your boy's going to be talking about that. Let's call this a part 1. And yeah, let's get straight into it. However, pause. It's been a bit foggy today in Leeds. Man couldn't leave out the weather, you know what I'm saying? It's been a bit foggy today here in Leeds. You know, man were driving to the barbers this morning. You know, man had to put their lights on. You know, could not see anything. You know, driving like Stevie Wonder. Pause. And yeah, but your boy did it. I don't know where I'm going with this. What I'm saying is, it was foggy today in Leeds. However, judging by outside now, it is all good in the hood. We are here, 1:15 on Monday, the 23rd of October. That's just reminding me, shall I do a part 1 today? Pause and do like a Halloween episode. Guys, have you seen the Halloween stuff? Actually, you know, if you're watching on YouTube, have you seen this Halloween stuff we got? Look, we got like the little spider webs going on, and we got the spiders here. You know, a little bit, you know, just doing a little bit for the community. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that got the Halloween stuff in right now. So yeah, I might do. I don't know. I'll see what I want to do for next week. But let's talk about this week, people. You guys know why you're here. Come on. Why I love magic, okay? I've wrote bullet points here, but I'm going to definitely expand on them. So the thing about magic for me is, when I first saw it, I remember when I first saw some piece of magic, and I'm talking a long time ago. I am talking about this. Listen, if there's anybody listening to this that knows this school, alright, because I believe I've not said this school before on the podcast. Carmanor Primary School. What? Oh, some people are like, what? Yeah, so I used to go to Carmanor Primary School back in the day. It's a long story. I was only there for a little while. I'm not going to get into that. However, when I was there, I remember this. This is an exclusive. I remember there was a kid, probably about a year or two above me. So I'm probably in like year 1, I'd like to say. And he's probably in like year 3, year 4, something like that. For the people that are listening to this in a different country, if you don't know, I was about probably 5, 6, and this guy was like 8 or 9. So I remember I was at the playground and we were like on the ground because he was showing us something, and I remember he were like, I've got a coin of 1p, so just a coin, and he had another coin, and basically he covered his hands on both coins that were separate, and just magically he'd take his hand off one and there's nothing there, and he takes his other hand off the ground and both coins are there. I was like, yo, do that again. That was probably my first taste into magic. It did not get me into magic. It made me somewhat appreciate and experience it. And that's what magic is. It's an experience, and I have talked about this before. But yeah, that was kind of like, wow. I didn't love magic, but I didn't hate it. It kind of got me intrigued, but I was at that age where it was like, it was so cool, and it made me think. But I kind of just got on with my day, obviously being a kid. And then fast forward to another primary school. We're talking about probably year 6 now. I had a friend with a pack of cards, and yeah, it's just going back from the memories now. It's quite interesting. That's a whole story in itself, the primary school. But the story is, he had a pack of cards, and I remember we were going on a trip somewhere. I don't know if it was like to Marrick, if we did stuff like that in England, Marrick, or anywhere, somewhere. It was an overnight trip with the school. And I remember we were on the coach and we were sat next to each other. And he showed me this magic trick. And it was like, he had a card. He turned it over. He passed it to me. Let's say that's the Jack of Spades. He gave me the Jack of Spades. And then he had the 8 of clubs. He turned the card over, tapped my hand, and then he had the jack of spades. I turned my card over. I had the eight of clubs. Amazing. I was bamboozled. I was like, what the hell? And I remember he showed me, like, fast forward, I think I had like a sleepover at his house with like a load of mates. Fast forward to that. Showed me Chris Angel on basically Google. Because back then you didn't really have your phones, it was just like at a desktop. And Google were right slow anyway, but yeah, we went to Chris Angel's website and he started showing me like videos of Chris Angel, how to do some of his magic tricks and stuff, and I got really intrigued. I was very like curious. And I remember going home after a sleepover and I went onto YouTube, seeing how the hell does Chris Angel levitate, how does he do this trick, and I kind of got intrigued into it. And I've talked about this part before. I had some Emirates playing cards. I believe my parents kind of went abroad somewhere and they kind of got it in like the little aeroplane package. So they passed it on to me. Started doing magic tricks from there. And then it paused. It faded out. And then obviously, years later, seeing Dynamo on TV, the rest is history. But going back to my point, the thing I love about magic is the experience. For me, back then, being in primary school, just witnessing magic, not even performing it, I did not know anything about it. Just experiencing it. It was amazing. It was astonishing. And it made me curious to the point where, how the hell do you do that? That's not normal. And I feel like that's part of my identity. I always want to do something different. So I kind of pass that on now, and I've only started to realise this not so long ago, that it's what I've seen and what I've experienced I'm passing on to other people. It's crazy. It's that simple, but I did not realise, and that's what I love about it. It's the love for magic, the amazement, the astonishment, bringing that childlike emotion from somebody. It could still be a child, or it could be an adult, it could be an elderly person. And I've done magic to all of them age ranges, and it's the astonishment. You have that where your eyes light up, and I'm starting to realise, the older I'm getting, but the more I'm starting to do magic, I'm starting to look at the actual person and see what I once experienced as a magician. And them moments are priceless. It could be anywhere. It could be here in the shop I show someone, it could be outside, it could be at a paid event, whatever. You'll still get the same type of reactions, or different. Everybody's different, but sometimes when you just see that, the eyes light up, for me, it brings it back full circle, and it's amazing. Honestly, I would not change it for the world. That right there is probably the number one thing that I love about magic. Now, there's many other things. There are many other things that I love about magic. But before I do get into it, guys, if you've come this far, come on, make sure to click the like button, subscribe. You're listening right now, you're not even doing anything else, you're probably getting on with your day, you're definitely not sat doing nothing just listening to me, you're doing something, you've got me on in the background or something. So make sure to get your phone, get your thumb and hit the rate button, the like button, the subscribe button, wherever you are. I am talking to you right now. Don't just ignore me, because I know you're ignoring me right now, because it's me. Do not do that. Just hit it, because it honestly, it's a review back for me to see how I'm doing. So I appreciate that. Now let's get back into why I love magic. Yeah, the other thing that I like about it is it brings people together. There's that connection there with magic. I could do magic to anybody. It could be people that know each other, but also it could be people that don't know each other. And that's what I love about it, especially at gigs, when I'm doing gigs. It could be one person and then another person that they don't even know, and I could get them in to do magic, and they'd have that same mutual connection to the magic, the experience, what has just happened. That's what I love. Like, it could be an icebreaker. Like, if I just helped out a brother that's not really that comfortable at the party because he doesn't know anyone, and then I bring out this lovely, beautiful lady, alright, and I just say, hi, I'm Ricky, show some magic, oh, come here, you know what I mean? I might have hooked brother up, I don't know about that, but, you know, they've got the mutual connection right there to what's just happened with the magic, whatever I show them, and I've passed that experience on to both them that they can share and enjoy together, whether that be in that moment or throughout the night. But that's what I love about it. You can do it to anyone. It's what's the word I'm looking for? There's a particular word that I'm looking for, and you can show it to everyone. Like, it's worldwide. I will think of that word later on in the podcast, but it's kind of worldwide. You can do it anywhere. It's not just fixed to one particular space or place even. It's you can do it anywhere, and you'll still get that same type of experience shown, and the reactions are completely different. Okay, now the reactions is another thing that I love. With the reactions, it depends on the type of person. Now, when I've been performing for a little while now, okay, and at first I didn't really know how the person was going to react, but now I can kind of pick out, you know, what somebody could possibly react to depending on what personality they are. But it always still surprises me, and, you know, gets me like excited that there's a reaction that I don't really expect, whether that be somebody just absolutely screaming, or just in awe, or just completely lost for words. That's still the thing, because it surprises me, and that's kind of like a little magic on myself, where it's like I don't know what's going on. Like, I show them something, it's like, you can't bish bash bosh, and they're like, ooh, like they're screaming, and I'm just like, whoa, damn, I didn't expect that. You know, that's for me as a performer, where it's like, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. Like what you can do with magic, and that's what I love about it. Honestly, it's them reactions. You know, magic isn't about reactions, though. Magic is about the experience given, in my opinion. But the reactions is just a part of it. It's just a natural part of it. You could have somebody that does not say anything, a complete poker face. I've had them a few times, and I love them, because I know just inside they're dying to just burst out with whatever they're really feeling, but I love it, because it's kind of like, yeah, I get you, I know what you're doing. Yeah, guys, that's a few things that I love about magic, but the other thing, and I'm going to touch on this, I didn't even have to look at my notes at this, because honestly, I've got this ingrained in my mind that I experience this whenever I'm performing, so you can tell how much I love it. You have the power to make somebody feel something. I didn't realise how much power you could have by performing magic. Honestly, I did not realise. You're in charge kind of someone's emotions, and I have touched upon that in this episode. But with, like, in Spider-Man, the great Uncle Ben said, with great power becomes great responsibility. And you have a responsibility with performing magic, which I love, where it's, you don't do it to trick the person. And I know I've said this so many times, it's the experience and the power that you have to how you make somebody feel. It makes you feel great as well, where it's like they don't know what's about to happen, and there's an aspect that you don't even know as a magician, that you don't even know what's about to happen, and it's that uncertainty and the unknown which brings that power, where it's like when it happens and you show someone something, and then it just absolutely just leads to the climax. It's, yeah, those are just a few things that I love. I'm just going to go briefly onto some things that I didn't touch upon. I've wrote here handling cards and practice and it paying off. This is kind of like behind the scenes aspect of it. I've kind of talked about the front end of it, how I feel, how others feel, but there's other aspects into it as well. What I love about Magic, handling playing cards. You don't really know that many people that can handle playing cards unless they're professional poker players, gamblers, magicians, etc. I just love playing cards, and I've recently just started putting a load of playing cards opened out of the box just around my room, just so if I'm walking by I don't have to open the box, it's just there and I can just do whatever I want, just as a little civil cut or a few like cardistry moves here and there, because why not? It's just something that I love doing, and the practice and it paying off. I want to touch upon this because this is the most important part, and I have talked about this in creating Magic, so I'm not really going to dive deep into it. If you want to know more about the practicing part and putting it in your own video and stuff like that, that's in my creative episodes. You can check that out on my channel. But the practice you put in, the more practice you put in, the more it's going to pay off, and the more you perform, the more experience you're going to develop. And I feel like I'm getting more and more intrigued and more into the actual performing than practicing, because performing is practicing. That's what I'm starting to realise. I've done it so many times in the past where I've just practiced and I haven't shown anybody the work that I've been doing. I've just been going back to the normal stuff. So I feel like the more I perform, the more I'm going to get better. And that's what I love about it, because you can't do anything unless you perform it. Just like anything else in life. You can't do building work if you don't go out and build. You can't do music if you don't go out and do music. You can't do magic unless you go out and do magic. And that's the thing I love about it. You just got to do it and just see how it goes. And it's that uncertainty that I've talked about previously. So yeah, that is what I love about Magic. Guys, there's a part 2 to this because I've only gone through half of my notes here. So I'm probably going to come back next week with the part 2. And what am I going to talk about in part 2? I'm going to talk about the magic industry. What? That's all I'm going to say about that. But yeah, I'm going to talk about things in that area, because I talked about the front end and the little bit of the back end in why I love Magic, but I want to talk about the Magic community in part 2, because that's a whole different episode. So guys, if you enjoyed this episode, man, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment if you like. Follow me on socials at Ricky2ra, RICKY, number 2RA. You know what I mean? We're heading up to 23 minutes in this podcast. I've enjoyed this, because sometimes I've always had to look at my notes. And this time I didn't even have to. I only briefly just looked at it towards the end. So I hope you enjoy this episode, guys. I hope you have a lovely weekend and a lovely week. Guys, my name is Ricky2ra. Peace, stay strong, and remember, always follow your dreams.